Alright guys, what's going on? As you can see, I'm in a new setting, trying out some new stuff today. But I'm gonna be taking this off. Let me know if you guys like the mask on or the mask off. I got you. But anyways, it's gonna be the after action report of the range time that I have. So basically gonna be talking about what happened, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the good. Well, let me start off here. There was 2 separate range trips that I incorporated into this collective video and a series of clips that I'm gonna show connected to the video. Reason being is the first time I went, they were having problems with the ventilation system. So I ended up going and paying for my hour. And then right as I went down there, I heard the range was like, I was like, oh shit, this transforming, like what's going on? But yeah, the vents went down, and then I waited, went back in, the vents went down again. So I was like, I'm gonna just pack up my stuff and leave. So the owner took care of me, because I paid, and they know that I'm kind of a pretty frequent shooter recently. So they gave me 2 hour range passes, so I got a free hour on them. So that was pretty cool for the inconvenience. So I went to this other one and got to shoot a little bit, but yeah, it didn't go as well as I planned the first time. The reason being, this is what I was occurring. So I had looked at videos on tuning the extractor. Basically, the extractor, you can just look it up. It's basically the part of the gun that hooks onto the ledge of the bullet and pulls it out. I was having feeding problems because of that. I kept getting stuck like right here, like half open, and then I kept having to try to pull the next one out, and it was really hard to cock it back. This action wasn't being real smooth, and it was because of that extractor was getting away, and it was causing problems to feed too, which I know that this platform won't have, because I used, if you look at one of my older videos, I used this slide, which had the tuned extractor, and this exact barrel combination, as you can see, it's empty. But I had this fire and pin spring, all of that, this barrel, reverse plug, all of this was the same. The only thing that changed was this slide frame, or slide and barrel and extractor and all of that. So I knew that the problem was in that. I isolated that problem. So I knew, because it was working with this, I knew it could work. I knew in theory it could work, because I shot like probably 80, 90 rounds back to back, rapid fire-ish, or rapid fire-esque, you could say, I guess. And it worked fine. Nothing was really wrong with it. And a couple things that I knew, that was another thing with the slide. The slide wasn't unlocking as smoothly as this one was. This one, it's not even like an extra step to unlock it. It just goes straight back. Whereas this one, it was an extra step. It's still a little bit of a stutter, but it's breaking itself in. And that was another thing I needed to do. I needed to just get some shots through it to prove proof of concept, to make sure that it can work, even though it wasn't working reliably. The first range trip, I did get a couple strings of fire to shoot reliably, but sometimes what would happen is, because I was having problems with the mainspring, and it was the middle leaf of the mainspring. I'll show you that right now. And I just needed to, it was actually too long, which kind of threw me for a loop. So it's the middle one right there, the one that's covered by the hammer spring a little bit. So what I had to do is, because it was pushing up so hard onto the ledge that is supposed to be able to pull down and unlock, so that the gun knows basically that it's able to shoot again, it's pushing down on this, and it was pushing up so hard and on it so hard that it was just basically stuck, and I was pulling the trigger and it wasn't moving. It's supposed to be at a certain point for it to be able to freely move, so that you can unlock the trigger, and it can, yeah, it's hard to explain without a diagram or anything like that, but just trust me. So basically I got that fixed. got it tuned, and you can push it in for more pressure, out for less. And I pulled it out for less. That didn't work. I did that actually at the range. That didn't work, but I knew that that was the problem because I seen when I was pulling the trigger, right? I seen that when I was pulling it, it wasn't the sear wasn't moving at all, and that's because the disconnector wasn't disconnecting. So I was like, yeah, it's a disconnector problem, and it's because of that spring at the top. So what I did, I took it home, shaved it down a little bit, smoothed out the edge so that it would come in contact really smoothly, and then I went back to the range. And yeah, basically that solved that problem. That solved one of the problems I was having. So, and when I was testing it too, this is how I knew it was the disconnector, because when I was testing it, I was pulling the trigger, right? It was like boom, and then sometimes the trigger wouldn't even pull. Like it would get right here, and it would be like super hard to pull out, and it wouldn't even, So then I did my safety checks, my function checks, and then what I realized is when I was pulling the trigger, right? I was pulling the trigger, and then I was holding it, and I went to unlock it. It was basically, I was getting hammer follow, so it was going there. So I was like, yeah, it's not the sear and the hammer, it's the disconnector. So the disconnector is not telling it that my finger is basically off the trigger, and that it can reset for me to shoot that other shot. So went home and fixed that. Obviously, it's working now. No issues. It's a little hard to reset without without this on it. That kind of hurts my hand a little bit, but for demonstration purposes, So yeah, I fixed that problem with the disconnector, or it wasn't with the disconnector. It was actually with the with the disconnector. I was right. So fixed that problem, and then kept testing it to see if it would happen again. But it won't happen unless you're under fire. So I took it back to the range, fixed that. But before I did, I noticed that I was having problems with both of my extractors, because I was having similar problems with this and with this, because this slide was on this frame, and this frame I had a compensator on it. This one and this one with the bigger frame is the integral project that I've been working on. Not complete yet, but I did get it to fire a lot of shots really reliably, and I'm pretty happy about that. But it's because I had to tune it. I had to tune this slide, this extractor, to be able to, work properly, right? And then something crazy happened right before I ended the range trip. So, sorry. Right before I ended the range trip, what happened is my freaking sight fell off. And I'll put in the video now. My back sight fell off. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. These are tightened from the people that made this slide. Heavy Division Armory made the slide. I haven't had no problems with the slide or anything. Just, yeah, I guess they didn't blue Loctite it, or it wasn't tight enough or something, but the back sight just fell off, and I didn't notice until I went to position the gun, and I was like, where the heck is my sight? I'm looking for it. I'm like, oh, it fell right here. So literally it was so loose that when I put it down, it fell off. So I retightened it, and I'm not really gonna worry about it, because I'm getting that cut for a red dot sight anyway, because this is my EDC. So I'm not really gonna trip about that, because this is gonna be gone anyway. The red dot sight is gonna replace the rear sight, so not really too worried about that. But yeah, freaking red dot sight fell off, and honestly, I thought this will be the one to fall off, because this is just really a placeholder slide. You can see that front sight is basically just glued on there. It's a decently tight fit, but it's just glued on there. Really, night sight. It's been working fine though. I mean, I've been shooting it, and I thought that would fall off before this one, and apparently I was wrong. So yeah, that's why you do T&E on stuff that you're making and building, and making sure that it works properly. This is going to be the main focus of this video though, but I do want to talk about, I'm going to talk about this combination next, but I have to assemble it and stuff to, talk about it. So we're going to talk about that one next, and stuff that we got coming up on future range trips, because I do got a lot a lot of good stuff planned for y'all. So just stay tuned for that. But yeah, so I got the extractor fixed, got the mainspring fixed, and this was the result with no front strap. So as you can see, I got it running flawlessly. Didn't really have no hiccups other than one magazine problem, and that was because of this STI 21 rounder. As you can see, it still got the white tape on it. Tape that on there because I put the Atlas follower in there just to see if it would do the 21 rounders, but it always shoots 20, and then on 21 it always holds the last round in as if it's locking back, and then I always have to put one back in there. So yeah, I've always had malfunctions with this, but what I didn't have malfunctions was with, and I'm gonna make a separate video about this, was this baby right here, this Atlas 17 rounder. Now, nothing really special about this mag. It's just, another 2011 mag, except the price. It is $100, but I think it is worth it. Now, hear me out. And like I said, I'm gonna make another video about this, but with this $10 follower in here, you can have, well, let me explain something first before that. There's these MBX mags. I have a couple MBX followers. MBX springs. I never got the followers because I want mine to lock back. I don't shoot competition, so I don't really want to, increase the capacity by 3 or 4 if I can't have the lock back, because I'll end up pulling the trigger anyway. I'm not counting every time I shoot. I try to at least a little bit, but I can't do it all the time. It's just not my nature. So what's so special about these is basically you get the lock back plus the +3 capacity. So it turned this 17, is it +3? I think you can probably fit 4 in there, because I turned this 17 rounder into a 20 rounder. So if you don't believe me, you can see this is the Atlas 144. As you can see, this is a 120 grip, and it sticks out just a little bit. And then in the 126 grip, or the 17 rounder, you can see it fits right in there. So yeah, if you count the rounds, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And then I took one out before I started the video, so 20. And it will fit 20 in there. It's a tight fit, but it will fit in there, and it will lock back. And I got video evidence to show that. Boom. Or I might have already showed it, but either way. So this is the combo that I'm rocking with right now. I got a couple of these, and yeah, locks back, and it increases the capacity of the normal one. So basically, this one right here holds the same as this one right here. Isn't that crazy? It's just technology keeps innovating pretty much, and I love it. So that means if I got an Atlas 140 or 144, I don't remember which one this is, then I can turn that into a 24 rounder instead of a 20 rounder, or 23, depending. But yeah, that's pretty crazy to me. That's pretty revolutionary. But the price is a big thing that you pay for with these mags, and I think I really hit it out the park with this one. That's why I got a couple of them. They are $100 a pop. It's like 109 or something like that. Hopefully they'll go down a little bit, or then maybe they'll have like another fall sale or something. But yeah, these definitely worth it. Definitely worth it to me with the followers. And the followers are only $10 by themselves, or you can get the whole follower spring kit, which I didn't get. I already got the spring kit with the freaking regular one that I bought. So these definitely hit it out the park. My EDC is that definitely just even looks aesthetically pleasing, right? Like that's just the one right there. So I shot it, didn't have any problems. Excuse me while I put this back together. Didn't have any other problems with it, and I'm happy because when I had this grip on my other frame, it was not. I thought it was the grip that was having all the problems with, but it was actually not. So I'm glad that I was wrong about that. Glad that I have got it to function. And basically this is proof of concept. Even though not done with it, I'm pretty close. So this is the after action report, but I'm gonna title it probably after action proof of concept because I did get it to work. And I got it to work reliably at that. Dang it. Like you always have something in front of your pen. There we go. So I guess I can go over it as if I'm manufacturing these, even though I'm not. Basic features of it: got the heavy division armory slide with the sights that it came with. Be careful with those. Make sure you Loctite them. Got the basic Columbus hammer sear and hammer strut. All of that stuff is basic. Got a Colt Factory 1911 main. Oh no, actually, this is the one with the matched lightened hammer set from EGW. It comes with all of the internals right here that I need. I got this VIP. It was like DVC when it first came out, but the VIP cut grip, pretty cool. With the magazine that it's recommended that it came with. Got the X-line trigger, which I like it because it matches the texturing of the front right there. I like that texturing. Yeah, other than that, I've done a lot to this really. I got the bobtail cut from Extreme Shooters. I had to get the VIP mainspring housing or mainspring stuff and the cap and all of that in here, basically because it wasn't working with the normal cut. I had to cut it myself just for it to be able to, for my hammer to be able to come down a little bit. Once I got that tuned, that was fine. The frame is from 1911 Builders. I got it engraved with some identifying markers. Got the vent cuts on here. It is bushing cut. This barrel and bushing I got from the same place. I do recommend you do that. Then I got the regular commander cut guide rod. I think it's a reverse guide rod because I could put the pin in there, and then regular open cap reverse plug spring with the regular spring kit that come with it. I don't even know the poundage of it, but it works, so that's all that matters. And then we got the Atlas follower in here with the Atlas 17 rounder. And yeah, I do have the 16 rounder, but it's not around here somewhere. It's around here somewhere, but it's still in my range bag. But yeah, and I like this rubber band because it helps with the grip for me, and it helps me basically get the same reference point every time when I'm gripping. And also it helps because I have a little gap right here. People keep asking me, I have a little gap right here, and I don't want to get freaking black char on my hand, black carbon from when it shoots and all that stuff all the time on me. So I'll put that right here, right before the undercut, so that way I have a reference point for my middle finger to grab and stuff. I got the extended ledge competition shooter EGW, or actually it's not Dawson Precision, Wilson Combat. Got the Wilson Combat extended safety. There's competition safety, and got the Wilson Combat shooting lever right here. Both because I had to bend this on the vise, heat it up a little bit and bend it on the vise, so that way I can get both of them. So what I do basically is I can swipe that. Let's say I got slide lock. Sorry, I'm doing left-handed. Slide lock, boom. So if I want slide lock, boom, I can drop that. And then if I got safety, I can drop that too. All on the same, and it's resting basically in line right there. So when I'm shooting like this, basically safety's right there, and then once it comes up, boom, all I have to do is basically drop my thumb because my fingers are long enough to do that. I still have came over in the videos and I still drop it down with this just because I want to have a good manual of arms. But yeah, got my EDC baby running. I also have this TLR1 ring light. We'll talk about this later, and I want to take this to the outdoor range so I can transition and actually shoot this. And also, once I get a red dot cut, I'm gonna do the accuracy test. I am gonna shoot it again before that, but I don't know if the sights are gonna stay on. So hopefully they do. We'll be testing that again on a later video as well. But yeah, guys, this was a breakdown of this is an after action report on this gun. I'm gonna call this my EDC Commander 1911. Just keep it basic. I don't really have a name for this one. If I had to call it anything, maybe my Silver Surfer or something. Maybe my hybrid. Let me know, guys, what you think I should call this in my next video. But I got names for my other two. I'm gonna be making videos on those soon, so stay tuned for that. If you like this video, thought it was helpful, like, comment, subscribe. If you like this and want to see more breakdowns like this in the future, stay tuned. All right, peace.